I think this work is incredibly important because food is such a big part of our culture. It's such a big part of who we are. And as we return to our traditional food ways, we return to our traditional relationships with each other, we reinstigate or reinvigorate that understanding that we operate within a community of care, that we have a duty not just to take care of the land, but to take care of each other. Hothsquile, Eoch, Tanoia, Charlene Seward, Queen Sna, Tina Che Clen, Hamulchison, Ochameo, Squamish Chin, Snuneymuxw. My name is Charlene Seward, and I come from the village of Hamulchison in North Vancouver. I'm a member of the Squamish Nation with close family ties to the Snuneymuxw Nation. My traditional territory within Vancouver is Snuneymuxw Village. And the head of our family is my aunt, Chief Janice George. We existed on Snuneymuxw Village since time immemorial until the early 1900s when we were removed by barge and brought to North Vancouver. I am a mother, an aunt, a sister, and I'm passionate about food security and about building Indigenous food sovereignty. What inspired me to get involved in food systems was my own personal experiences with food insecurity. I'm the Indigenous Foodways Outreach Facilitator with the Institute for Sustainable Food Systems at KPU. My job is to support relationship development and to help the Institute understand their role in reconciliation and how they can support Indigenous food sovereignty. My work is supported by an Indigenous advisory circle, and their voices are what helps dictate what our work should look like, what our work should be. I think what's important to remember is that the food system that we currently have is operating exactly like it was built to, in order to ensure that Indigenous people assimilated with colonial governments, the governments of the time, intentionally disrupted and destroyed Indigenous food sovereignty, whether it was clearing the plains of buffalo, forbidding us from practicing our culture, or preventing our access to traditional food sources and medicines. The truth is that the system wasn't made to benefit us. The system wasn't created to support us or our ways of knowing and being. So as we look to imagine new systems, I think it's important to understand that we need to start co-creating, that we need to be willing to mesh the beliefs, the ways of knowing and being of our ancestors with new ways of knowing and being. For a lot of communities, and for myself personally, we've been very disconnected from our food systems. We've lost our understanding of what it means to live in harmony with the land. And a lot of it is about returning to that, making time and space to listen to our elders, to listen to the voices of those who have that knowledge. Food sovereignty is inseparable from Indigenous sovereignty. You can't have one without the other. So the change that it would make in my community and other communities that we work with at the Institute would be immeasurable. To see Indigenous people being able to practice their traditional cultures and to celebrate and honor our heritage and our connection to the land. It would be life-changing for everyone in our communities. In 10 to 20 years, my hope, my dream, is that Indigenous people will have reached food sovereignty again. I think that for a lot of us, food is healing. Food is our connection to the land. So in my language, we don't actually have a word for the land, and that's because we're not separate from it. We're a part of the land. We are the land, and the land is us. My vision, my hope is that Indigenous youth, Indigenous children grow up feeling food secure, that they have an opportunity to experience food sovereignty, control over their own food systems. My hope is that 10 or 20 years from now, we don't have children going hungry, or we don't have parents going without to ensure that children don't go hungry. My hope is that there will be government policies that allow us to practice our traditional ways of knowing and being.